Chapter 13 Chapter 13 Logan's POV. Previously. I flopped on my bed, Eva's scent filling it. I took a deep breath, taking in as much of it as I could. I sighed in contentment. I finally found her, and I'm no longer alone. I'll be the best mate to her and protect her no matter what. The thought of her past still boiled my blood, and I don't want to do anything more than to go wipe out that pack of hers and then go hunt down her parents and get them on their knees in front of her. I was snapped out of my thoughts with an ear-piercing scream coming from the bathroom, and before I knew it, I was already opening the bathroom door. Thank God the soap hid Eva's body from me. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do if I got to see her naked. However, this was not the time right now. Eva's whole body, or what I could see of it, was red. Another scream escaped her lips, and I felt my heart chatter. I quickly made my way to her and wrapped her with a towel I picked up from one of the drawers. I gently lifted her fragile body into my arms and went to place her on the bed. Her eyes were closed, her eyebrows furrowed, and she was squirming all around, obviously in pain. I was outraged. What did Alexis made me add to her water that made her feel pain? Her body was firing red, for heaven's sake. "Mom, get Alexis here right now!" I mind-linked my mom angrily. "Okay, but Logan, is everything all right?" I heard her ask. "Mom, just get her already," I snapped back. I heard my mom sigh before giving me an affirming reply. Shh, it's okay," I murmured in Evangeline's ear when she squirmed more in pain. A gasp escaped her lips, and soon after her breath became raged, and finally cries of pain were heard, filling the room. It hurts! Please, make it stop!" I heard her say as tears started trickling down her face, her eyes still closed. My heart broke. I held on to her tighter, making sure the towel was still in place. When I felt her body relax a bit, I gently stood up and put her under the covers. All too sudden, her eyes opened widely and another scream escaped. I too went under the covers and held her tightly to my body. I could feel her body heat radiating from her. It was way too much. I felt like I was hugging an oven. I'm going to kill Alexis, I thought bitterly. "Logan," I heard my mom call through our mind link. "What? Why isn't Alexis here till now?" I growled. Well, the thing is, she stuttered. "What, Mom? Just talk already," I snapped again. "Well, she sighed. "We can't find her." "What?" "We can't find her, Logan. We can't find Alexis," she repeated. I felt my body shake, my wolf wanting to come out and rip Alexis's body to shreds. I never should have trusted her. "Go tell Jake to assign some of our fighters and trackers and start looking for her," I told Mom. "Okay," was her reply before I put my mind wall back up. I was pulled again to my mate as she groaned and squirmed in pain again, her breath short and uneven. Cold sweat covered her body. My gaze was averted to something under the covers. I slowly removed the covers, confirming my doubts. There they were, her tails. But instead of two like I thought, there were 3 tails moving behind her. No matter how many times I looked at them, their beauty still captivated me. Thinking again, I guess I was wrong about Alexis. I really thought for a second there that she was actually intending on hurting my mate. Her soon-to-be Luna. My eyes met Eva's, and I was taken back a little by them. They weren't the same blue orbs I came to love. Her whole eye was blue. No white part, no nothing. Not only that, but they were glowing like a shiny diamond. Not seconds later, her white cornea started showing and her eyes slowly returned to normal. The frown on her face left and she was just staring at me, emotionless. I tried to give her my best smile. She slowly raised her body into a half-sitting position. The comforter slid down her body, but to my dismay, the towel was still covering her. Even though it was only barely. I grabbed the other comforter and covered her with it. When she realized what was happening, a blush rose on her cheeks and she buried her half-face into the comforter. Her reaction made me chuckle. Our attention was suddenly averted to the sounds of knocks on our bedroom door. "Alpha, we found her," I heard Jake, my beta, say from behind the door. I sighed. I guess it was time to apologize to Alexis. But still, last time when Eva was growing her first tail, her body didn't turn as red as it did this time. It wasn't even hot. So why did it now? I looked at Eva, silently asking her if it was okay with her to open the door. I'm not sure if she's still uncomfortable being near people, and I won't take my chances. My doubts were confirmed when she squirmed, not away from me, but, to my surprise, she hid behind my back, clutching my shirt from behind. I was just about to tell Jake to leave, and that I will meet him outside, when I was cut short by Eva's soft voice. It's okay. Let them in, she almost whispered into my shirt. Are you sure about that? I asked worriedly. I felt her nod her head, her face still buried into my back. I felt like the happiest man alive. I can't believe it. She finally wasn't afraid of me. Her actions showed that she felt safe being around me. Before I realized it, I was yet again grinning like an idiot. Come in, Jake, I finally said after I composed myself. The door opened, revealing the face of my best friend and beta. Alexis followed soon after. She was held by two of my warriors, each holding one of her arms. I frowned at the sight and couldn't help but feel slightly guilty. Let her go, I said, averting my gaze from Alexis to both the guards. They immediately set her free. We found her near the borders with a rogue alpha. I don't think it's a good idea to just let her go. My head whipped towards the voice of my beta. A rogue? The thought made me angle my body in front of Eva more protectively. I felt her hold tighter onto my shirt. Grab her, I growled angrily. My warriors never hesitating, before each grabbed the arm they were already holding. No, wait, Logan, I swear I have nothing to do with him, Alexis said, her tone panicked. I gave her a hard look, but didn't stop her from explaining. I couldn't find Chloe to ask her for some of her things, so I went to the mall to buy Evangeline some of her own. When I came back, I saw the rogue at the border, but before I could ask him anything, Jake and the rest came and got me. I swear, Alpha Logan, I have nothing to do with him. I didn't know what to think or do in that moment. How do I know if she was telling me the truth, but also I didn't want to treat her unfairly? What am I supposed to do? She's telling the truth. Our heads snapped towards the source and we were directed to my mate. I turned around to be able to fully face her. She looked at me, her eyes meeting mine and never losing contact. She's not lying, Eva said again. I gave her a confused look. Why would you say that? I asked. She averted her gaze, staring at my shirt like it was the most interesting thing in the world. I held her chin and pulled her face up so she would meet me again. It's okay, baby girl. You can say what you want. No one will harm you, I told her affirmatively. She didn't hesitate, not once, and, she didn't even avert her gaze while talking. Also, her body language showed that she was telling the truth, Eva said hesitantly. I was stunned. My mouth was opened, not able to form a coherent word. I was sure all of us were looking at her in awe. At least I was. After a couple of seconds, I was brought back from my trance. I smiled down at her and asked, You think so? I know so, she replied. My smile widened. She will make an amazing Luna. Her ability to know if a person was lying or not will help her and me to rule the pack steadily. Let her go, boys, I ordered again. They immediately let her go. Wow, your mate really is something, I heard Jake say, amusement filling his words. I couldn't help but inwardly agree with him. Alexis was now grinning widely, her eyes twinkling in both amusement and gratitude towards Eva. I could see she was fighting the urge to run forwards and hug her. Eva, she started, you don't know how thankful I am to know you right now. You literally saved my life. Thank you. Thank you so much. I smiled inwardly. Looks like my mate has a thing for saving people. I felt Eva hide herself behind me again, but I was able to see her face turning red before it was fully out of view. "Looks like she's glad she helped," I replied to Alexis. A thought passed my mind, and I was remembered to ask Alexis what I wanted. "Oh, Alexis, what was in the shower gel that you gave me? Eva's body turned red when she was immersed into the water." "Oh, so you used it?" she asked. I nodded. "I guess you have to see for yourself," she replied, shrugging her shoulders. I gave her a confused look, so she continued. But first, these boys have to leave," she said, pointing at Jake and the other 2 men. "That, of course, if you don't want them to see her exposed body," she continued. Her words made me growl. Whoa, you don't have to be angry, man. We were leaving anyways. Jeez," Jake said, raising his hands in a surrendering way. "Come on, let's go," he told the other men. "Hey, Logan, what should we do with the rogue?" he asked over his shoulder as the other men made their way out of the room. I frowned at that. "Keep him in the basement cells for now," I replied back. He nodded his head, and soon after he too was out of the room. Now it was only me, Eva, and Alexis. Alexis proceeded to make her way towards us. I felt Eva tense behind me, and without thinking I immediately raised my upper body more and growled at Alexis dangerously. She stopped dead in her tracks. I relaxed my body a bit. "Sorry, Lexi. It's still not that okay for anyone to just come close to Eva. She isn't really a fan of it," I explained apologetically. She nodded her head. "I understand." I turned to face Eva. She looked at me with her beautiful blue orbs, making me get lost in their mesmerizing shade. After composing myself back, I asked, "Baby girl, can Alexis come closer for a bit? I swear she won't harm you, and I'll be there the whole time." Eva's gaze shifted from me to Alex, then back to me again before I saw her nod her head approvingly. I sighed in relief. Alexis started approaching us more carefully now. When she was on Eva's side of the bed, she gestured with her hand to the comforter. "May I?" she asked. I looked at Eva. She hesitated for a moment before she looked at me and then nodded. I gave her a wide smile. Alexis slowly pulled the covers from Eva's body, keeping the towel as the only thigh covering my mate's body. I was aroused by the sight of them, sitting there on my bed, barely covered. "No," I thought. "I have to control myself." I was snapped back by Alex's voice. "Look, Logan," she said, gesturing to my mate's arms and legs. Evangeline's POV. When Alexis was explaining herself in front of us, I knew immediately that she was telling the truth. Ever since I was little, I could easily tell if someone was either telling the truth or lying. I got beat up too much because of it in my old pack. It was because I was able to expose the lies they were saying. One night, when I was still 11 years old, I told the Alpha that his Beta lied to him earlier. Alpha Drake, of course, didn't believe me and forgot that I even told him anything. But the Beta, of course, didn't. That night, I was brutally beaten. I thought it was the end of me. I broke about 4 ribs and an ankle. I could swear to you that for 3 weeks after that, I was still unable to see my face properly in the mirror. My facial features were unidentifiable. Both my eyes were a mixture of blue, purple, and black. They were swollen like nothing ever did before. My lips were cut every 1 centimeter. I couldn't open them even slightly without blood oozing out of them. My cheeks were a fiery red from the continuous slapping they received, and one of my molars left my gums and jumped into my mouth. Ever since that night, I kept my mouth shut, afraid of the consequences I'd face. The thought made me shudder. However, this time, for some reason, I found myself blurting the words out, telling everyone that Alexis indeed was telling the truth. When Logan asked me why I thought so, I started feeling afraid again. Not from Logan, but from Jake mostly. He might say that I'm accusing him of lying, and I don't even want to think about my punishment. I tried to not meet his eyes. Logan's fingers held my chin, forcing me to look at him. "It's okay, baby girl. You can say what you want. No one will harm you. His words sent a wave of warmth through my body, and for once, I wasn't afraid to speak. I mustered up whatever courage I have and spoke up again, but of course, the stuttering followed. After I was done explaining myself, I saw them all look at me with an expression I never received before. Was that amusement? Why were they looking at me like I've done something amazing? It's not like I saved the world or anything. Logan asked the men to let Alexis go, and they immediately followed his orders. Must be good to be an alpha. To my surprise, Jake didn't seem mad or angry at me. On the contrary, he looked amused. I felt relief wash over me. Looks like I won't be punished, I thought. I knew Logan said that he would protect me, but still, what if he wasn't there? Anyone could do anything then, right? Adding to my confusion on the situation, I heard Alexis gush out how grateful she is and how I saved her life. Her words made me blush, as I wasn't used to being thanked. I was either ordered around, beaten up, or cursed at. This was all new to me. I buried my face again into Logan's back with warmth comforting me. I was snapped out of my thoughts by Logan's voice asking Alexis about why my body turned red. It might be because 2 of my tails were growing this time instead of 1, but still, it was a bit weird. I didn't concentrate on what they were saying, but I, however, caught the phrase that we had to see for ourselves. I also didn't catch their conversation after, as I was too caught up thinking what she wanted to show us. I snapped my head towards the door when I heard it shut. My eyes averted to Alexis, and they widened when I realized that she was making her way towards me. My body tensed. Logan most probably felt it as he again angled his body in front of me, protectively, while growling dangerously at Alexis, making her stop dead in her tracks. After a couple of seconds, he relaxed and proceeded to apologize to Alexis, saying that I didn't feel guilty would be a lie. It was all because of me that he was more on guard in front of his own pack members. It was all because of weak, fragile me. The thought made me sad but angrier at myself. That's why when he asked if it was okay for Alexis to come closer, I didn't object. I wanted to show him that I can be stronger, and that, if not fully, at least I trusted him. Alexis started walking towards us again, more cautiously this time. She reached my side of the bed and asked if she could remove the covers. Again, I didn't object. I was aware that I was only wrapped in a towel. I saw Logan's eyes roam my body, and I could see that he was trying to control himself. A small blush covered my cheeks, but thank God, no one noticed. "Look, Logan," I heard Alexis say, gesturing to my arms and legs. My eyes widened in surprise. Where were all my scars?